bounced around by a couple of enemies on that stage, and only being able to attack them from behind. So yeah, they looks like they borrowed that.
Okay, we just made it through Act 2, and we have quite a high number of lives there, over 200. So how much lives can you get overall in this game?
I'm guessing it's probably going to top out at 999.
So is that like a new feature, like because the classic games never had up to 999? I think it was 999 you can get up to.
Exactly. I believe that is a new feature. That's a first in the Sonic games.
Oh yeah. So is Act 3 going to be any different from Act 2 and Act 1? Yeah.
Yes, Act 3 is a little bit more... well, when I played through it, it was a lot more frustrating. Because there's a lot of cannons in the stage, and you don't really know exactly where to aim them all the time.
Is the cannon like manual aiming, or is it like kind of like Sonic 3's cannons where it just keeps them rolling back and forth?
No, this one is a little bit more precise. You get to control where the cannon faces, and then you launch it, and hopefully you aim yourself in the correct direction.
Okay. So we've got a couple more barrels. Anything that reminisces of the old Sonic games again?
I'm tempted to say Sonic 3, the dreaded Barrel of Doom, but I'm not. I'm gonna say Sonic 2.
So about that Barrel of Doom, were you one of the people that struggled on it the first time, or did you get it right the first time?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I cheated. I didn't look at the instruction booklet. What I did was I grabbed the second controller and I used Tails, and he died, but I got through okay.
Alright. And as I just saw there when they were just rolling past there, he destroyed a couple of bats. Was that part of the old games as well?
I believe so. I do remember, I don't know if they were bats or not, but I do remember the security birds from Sonic 3, and that just kind of reminds me of that.
Okay. And how long left to this act is done? Because I think we've been passing through a lot of acts, because we're in the second level now.
Well, this one here is, I don't think there's too much more that we have to do. A few more cannons, and then we're gonna see a bunch of cards towards the end.
Okay, cool. So, as you've seen the boss already, little bit of a type of introduction, like what's he gonna do?
Well, he is a direct copy from the boss in Sonic 2 for the casino stage, whereas he's gonna try to electrocute you, throw little spike balls at you, and your job is to figure out the best way to hit him, which there's two methods that you can use.
Oh yeah. So overall in this game, do you think it was supposed to be aimed at the old school fans that like 2D Sonic, or was it aimed at new Sonic fans that wanted to give it a go in 2D?
It was definitely aimed at the classic Sonic fans. Most of the Sonic, classic fans, they say that they kind of changed the game. He has homing attack now. He has so many new abilities and features that they really feel like it's a new experience. But at the same time, they're kind of tailoring to the newer fans of the series.
Okay, so what does home attack have impact for the set of fans of the franchise, having Sonic 4 having home attack?
For the classic fans, homing attack in a 2D game is considered really cheap to them. They think that it makes the game so much easier and less challenging. Whereas the newer fans, they're like, hey, Sonic's always had homing attack, so why would he be without it?
Okay, but suppose if the homing attack was raising up the difficulty, like it did raise up the difficulty from the level design, you think that would have helped?
I definitely think that would have helped. It would have kind of made the classics fans appreciate it a little bit more, I'm sure.
Yeah. And as you just said, it does look like an actual copy of Sonic 2, the actual boss. So does the homing attack make it more easier to defeat this boss?
Definitely. Back in 1992, if you rolled up on the sides there, you had to guess where Dr. Eggman was and try to land on his head. Now you can kind of land anywhere and just aim at him and homing attack him.
Okay. And difficulty of this boss, do you think it's easy or hard?
In 1992, hard. This time around, definitely easy.
Okay, so now you've completed through Casino stage and once again saved a couple of animals. Is it going to be any more harder than this for the next stage?
Yes, the next stage is going to be a little bit more tricky, and so is the boss actually.
Okay. And yeah, we're in the Lost Labyrinth Zone. Any Sonic game that's trying to reminisce this time?
Definitely. We're back at Sonic 1 with the Labyrinth Zone, and it's the same elements, you know, stony ruins with water that will it'll probably rise up. But this time we have some new elements such as the falling rocks. We have mine carts, dynamite sticks.
Awesome. And will we see a lot more checkpoints around, or they're just going to try and cut down the amount of checkpoints to make it more harder?
Since this is kind of like one of the middle stages of the game, it's definitely going to cut down on the checkpoints.
Okay. So do you think that it's going to be more balanced on the platform and the speed, or is it going to be more platforming than speed in this one?
A lot more platforming than speed on this one. You're going to need a lot of precision. Supersonic probably wouldn't be the best choice for this stage. However, he does help as far as the jumping factor. He can jump a lot higher than Sonic.
From him jumping higher, does he jump faster as well? Or is it he jumps slower than normal Sonic?
He does jump faster. He's kind of like a lightning bolt, you know, when he jumps. And that kind of helps you get through the stage quicker, but during the tricky platforming parts, like here, he moves so quick that he sometimes falls off or goes, you know, he kind of overshoots the ledge.
Okay. So now a big giant ball is chasing us, and does it kind of tail you back into any of the old Sonic games again?
You know, that is a good question. I want to say for some reason that reminds me of Sonic 3, but I'm not sure which game it was, but I'm pretty sure they had some sort of rock chasing you.
I think it was with Ice Cap Zone.
Was it?
Yeah. Might have been from Ice Cap Zone.
I think it was. That sounds about right.
Or it might have been from Spring Yard Zone. I'm not sure, because there was something rolling down. There was like a steep path, I think in Act 2, and like you always had to watch out for this thing that's rolling behind you.
See, now we're gonna have to start another Let's Play for that and figure it out.
Yeah. Hey, we just made it to Act 1, and it was pretty much longer. So it does seem that like the actual platform is really taking over the actual time of actually us completing the stage.
Yeah, definitely. The amount of precision that's needed to deal with so much platforming is definitely going to slow you down. Okay.
And now we start with Act 2, and it's all dark, and you're only going to see Sonic in the middle. So what's up with that?
I would say that this is new for a Sonic game, but it isn't. This has kind of been done in Sonic 3, where you were in the Pyramid Cave, I believe it's called, and it was just completely dark, and you had to jump, and there were ghosts there. If the lights went off, there were ghosts. I think they kind of took that idea and applied it here.
Okay. And do you think it's worked for the benefit? Like, it does a lot better, or?
Yes, because Sonic's more interactive. He's holding a torch, you know, we've never really seen Sonic hold items throughout a whole stage like this. And the torch activates different things. It activates dynamite. It activates, you know, lanterns, and it also opens up secret passageways.
Okay, and when we did use Supersonic, it light up the whole place. So does it make it way easier to use Supersonic on this stage?
Oh yeah, definitely. Supersonic's golden aura is just, lighting up the whole entire cave.
Oh, so it's much like a cheat then, because...
I like to think of it as an added benefit, but yeah, it's definitely a cheat.
Okay, and with Supersonic here, does he even need to grab the torch? Like, shouldn't he just throw it away?
Not necessarily. He doesn't need it for light, but he does need it to open up certain doors and get through certain areas.
Okay. And we see a lot of home attack chains in this playthrough, and you think that they could have done it differently?
I think that they could have. The idea that I believe that they were going for, if you don't use the homing attack, you're pretty much going to get hit in this particular stage. I got hit tons of times because I was one of those anti-homing attack fans, and I just decided not to use it, and it wasn't really helping me out in this stage.
Was it because that every time you hit a spring, it makes Sonic curl outwards, enter?
I believe so. Whenever, he's in the air, he's vulnerable now, and the enemies are, right there in the air with them, so if you don't use the homing attack, you're going to get hit by them.
Okay. And we're in this little puzzle section, so what's this about?
Well, this particular puzzle, you have to light the lanterns in a certain order to get through to the next area. Of course, one of the lanterns controls a platform that you can stand on. One of them controls one that you can open, and if you hit a certain one, it'll block the door.
Okay. So, did it take you quite long to figure out that puzzle, or it was very quick?
It took me a couple of minutes to figure it out. I just kind of took my time and tried to match up the lanterns with their puzzle piece, pretty much.
Okay, cool. And are we close to the end of the act?
We are. We're going to see a lot of dynamite fuses that we can kind of just blow stuff up and make our way to the end of the stage.
Cool. So, were they trying to have an Indiana Jones for all this blowing up stuff?
I think they were, and The Rock definitely reminds me of Indiana Jones. And also the minecart that we're going to see shortly too.
Oh, this minecart.
Yep.
And yeah, so the cart was used more on this act than the last act. Why is that?
Well, I'm guessing we're deeper into the cave. It's Act 2, so they kind of gave us a new gimmick, and the cart kind of makes sense. We're deeper down in there. Maybe some ancient miners just left the cart there.
Yeah. And